counselor here at Camp Conroy, and I have been for the past 4 years. And this is, who'd like to introduce her?
Okay.
This is Callie Wandafornia. She wanted to come and help me introduce this book to you guys. All the campers they had so many different activities that they got to do, and they helped me name her, so it felt special to bring her up here. We did camp a little bit differently this year, as some of you might have known. We separated them into 2-week camps, and I was a little nervous that some of the kids here wouldn't be able to get to do all they wanted or write all they wanted, but they really proved me wrong, and they have created such beautiful art and writing, and they're speedy, but they know what they want to do, and I'm excited for you guys to see what they've created.
Yay!
Hey y'all, and welcome. Oh,
Amber alert.
let's just ignore that. Okay. Hey y'all, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is E. I was a camper myself back in 2019. And now I'm back again for my second year as a counselor. I've had the privilege of working alongside an amazing team of counselors, Mickey, Bailey, Alex, Aline, Savannah, and Millie, as well as instructors, Mr. Haupt, Miss Miho, Miss Deirdre, so sorry, Miss Maddie. I've also had the pleasure of working with and helping these amazing young artists and writers over the past week here at Camp Conroy. Camp Conroy is built around creativity, young imaginations, and self-expression. When creating, they put their hearts into everything that they make. Today, they'll be sharing a glimpse of what they've created, original writing and work. Some of the counselors' work as well will be presented. Our Camp Conroy theme this year is mirrors, windows, and sliding glass doors. And this has encouraged our campers to explore new perspectives and reflect on their own identities. We are so proud of what they've been able to accomplish in such a short span of time. We hope you enjoy just as much as we've been able to. Starting us off, Adriana. Here's her artwork displayed on the board, and she will be sharing some of her writing with us.
Woo!
Hi, my name is Adriana, and these are my 2 stories that I write with Millie, but she's not here. She helped me with details and things like that. And I want to read you my 2 stories. Okay. The larger lonely mountain, so larger that she can have friends. Once upon a time, there was a big mountain. It was lonely because she was the biggest mountain, and she couldn't talk with the others mountains. One time, she saw her reflection, and she said, "Why am the biggest mountain?" A bird was flying, and the bird said, "I love that you are the biggest mountain because I can see all of the animals." And the mountain said, "Thank you." Now I'm going to the second story. The teeny tiny mountain, so tiny that she can have friends. Once upon a time, there was a teeny tiny mountain. She was the smallest mountain in her family. The teeny tiny mountain felt jealous about the biggest mountain. So the teeny tiny mountain said, "I want to be the biggest mountain in the world." But a squirrel said to the teeny tiny mountain, "I love that you are the teeny tiny mountain because I don't like to be up high." The mountain said, "Thank you." The no larger, lonely, larger mountain said to the teeny tiny mountain, "It doesn't matter if you're the teeny tiny mountain because you will always have friends." The teeny tiny mountain responds, "Thank you. Can we be friends?" The larger mountain said, "Yes." Once upon a time, the teeny tiny mountain and the large mountain lived next to each other. Now, they spend every day together and won't be lonely again.
Thank you so much, Adriana. Next up is Brecken with some of his art on the board. He'll be sharing some of his short stories.
Okay, here's my art right now. Okay. But there is no longer art. Okay, this is untitled. Guess what it is? A necessity. It is clear why we use it. It is in mirrors. Okay, you.
Me? It has glass. It's glass.
Yay. You get a gold sticker. Okay, this is my actual story. The making of the best mirror by Brecken. Part 1. Once upon a time, there is an inventor named George who was very, very, very bored. Suddenly, when he was sitting down eating his lunch, he came up with something to do. He would make the best mirror ever. But to do that, he would have to get materials. He needed the metal from Mount Volcano, the glass from the hardware store, and a hammer from the deep sea. There was a shortage of hammers at the moment. He decided to go to the deep sea first. He got on his boat and moved at full speed. He got out his metal detector. He waved the metal detector around for a bit before it beeped. Beep. He looked down and there was a hammer deep in the water. Yay. He jumped in and swam in the water to the hammer. He grabbed the hammer and swam up. But there was a pirate on the boat. When he got out, he got on the boat to negotiate with the pirate. "How did you get that hammer?" The pirate asked. "I got it down from the sea." "There are more down there," George lied. The pirate dived down to the sea, screaming, "Free hammer!" George quickly started the boat and sailed back to shore. Part 2. He got home and decided to go to the volcano. He got to the volcano. He found a chest, but there was a wizard guarding it. George stepped forward and the wizard saw him. "Solve my riddle, or I will turn you into a fiddle!" The wizard screamed at the top of his lungs. "Okay," George replied. "What is always still but has eyes?" the wizard questioned. "A wall with googly eyes," George answered. The wizard didn't say a word, but he glared at him like no one else had glared at him before. Suddenly, the wizard vanished in a blink of an eye. George opened the chest the wizard used to be guarding. There was enough metal in there to make the mirror. Yay, how convenient, yay. Part 3. George got home. He finally had to go to the hardware store. He did a bit of walking to get there. He walked even though the floors were filthy with dirt and sand. He grabbed the glass and waited in line for 4 hours. Finally, George bought the overpriced glass and left the store. When he got home, he immediately got to work on the mirror. It took hours, he got splinters, and it was time. But he finally made the best mirror ever. But then he thought about it. What does this do for me? I already had a mirror. What purpose does this have for me? The end. Thank you for being with us.
That was awesome. Okay, up next, we have Elizabeth with some of her fantastic art on the board. She'll be sharing some of her writing.
Alright. Hello everyone, my name is Elizabeth Bellamy and I'm going to read Buffin, Donald Claw, and Gold Tail's Adventures. Chapter 1. Once upon a time, there was a bear, a 4-year-old bear cub, Buffin, who lived in Hawaii. After 30 minutes of sunbathing, he went for a walk. But he wasn't looking where he was going because he saw Italian ice, causing him to drool and end up colliding into Diamond Claw, one of Buffin's close friends, along with Goldtail, Diamond Claw's baby sister and Buffin's second friend. The trio decided to go to their home, Alaska. But as they raced to the water, Storm, the only enemy of the trio, sent his lines to capture Buffin, Diamond Claw, and Goldtail. The second youngest group, Diamond Claw, warned the line that if they don't let her and her friends through, she will attack them. Thus, Lion sized her up. They looked at each other and laughed. That enraged the trio, and they started attacking the prize viciously, giving the lions nosebleeds, black eyes, and scratches. Afraid, they ran off, crying all the way home. Scar's face turned pale when he saw their injuries. Then he vowed to catch them all, even if it meant that he would do it himself. Diamond Claw was immortal, which means she could not be killed. Meanwhile, the trio were swimming, but Goldtail started getting tired and almost drowned. But Diamond Claw grabbed it just in time when suddenly a large robot rose from the sea. The trio heard Scar's horrible voice. Diamond Claw, I have come for revenge for you and your weak friend Digit, strong and mighty men. Scar programmed the robot to chase the Diamond Claw wolf. It was a long chase under the sun. What Scar didn't know was that Diamond Claw had installed a weak spot in the robot while he was sleeping. Diamond Claw, Buffin, and Goldtail found the spot and hid it together in the chest. To be continued.
Alright, thank you, Elizabeth. Up next is Eric, and some of his art is on the board. Sure.
Hi, my name's Eric. I'm going to be reading my 3 stories. My first one is Books Should Not Be Banned. When people ban books, they take away knowledge and the love of reading. That they take history away, and history is how we know where we get our genetic traits from. If people want to read, let them read. Reading is how some people have fun. Reading is a passion, so don't take it away. My second story is Riding in the Sky. On a plane, it smells like old men. When I look out the window, it looks like flying cotton candy. The toilet is loud and stinks like old men. Just like the rest of the plane. Going on a plane makes my stomach hurt. It feels like a washing machine is in my stomach. Now I'll read my third story, Northern Lights. In the Arctic, I'm cold. I am greenish blue because I am disgusted by the frogs. Frogs are nasty and are filling up our land. Frogs don't belong here, but these are a new breed. They are bright, or otherwise known as green and white. They are called snow frogs, or as I call them, go frogs, because I want them to go and leave. Maybe my colors will change to a happy yellow if they leave.
Thank you so much, Eric. Up next, we have Hunter. This is some of his art, and he will be sharing his writing.
Hello, as she said, my name is Hunter. I'm going to share a passage called The Reflections in What We Read. When we read, we unlock knowledge unknown to us before. This knowledge helps us see ourselves and the world differently. But to fully understand the information given, we need to ponder everything the text gives us. By doing that, we can comprehend it on a deeper level. The meanings of texts aren't always written in words, though. The author will often convey their emotions through imagery. It sometimes makes it challenging to understand the overall moral, but it is worth it. strengthens your brain, and gives you a new understanding of life. Seeing yourself in what you read is vital to learning and development. Books that show the reader themselves and the characters are a necessity for any aspiring scholar. But sometimes there is a gap in who gets represented. For example, some African Americans in the US had a shortage of books whose protagonists were African American as well. But then organizations like the National Council of Teachers of English, or NCTE, came in and started book drives for these communities. With the kindness of the people, they were no longer underrepresented. These mirrors created by good people working for a better future helped everybody in a marginalized community. By having diverse characters and stories, you create a world where everyone is important. Every book has the chance to create a world in which all kinds of people are appreciated, giving books a unique and incredible power to create equality and a better reality. In an imperfect world, every story has an impact, guiding reality to a brighter future. So if there is a story that does not exist yet, then go write it. Literature can change your view of the world, so create the world you want to see.
Thank you, Hunter. That was very powerful. Next up is Sophia. This is some of her art. Beautiful. And she will be sharing her writing.
Like she said, my name is Sophia Holmes, and what I'm about to share is 3 points of view. First is the mailbox. All day I am waiting for the mail, but I haven't been filled with even one letter yet. All I see is an ant and my reflection. I'm lonely with no company. After a few hours, the strangest thing happened. A big car with a mail logo on the side stopped next to my house. A man comes next to me and fills me with more mail than I could ever ask for. Now I don't feel lonely anymore. Well, maybe it's too much company. They won't stop talking and I barely can make sense of them. They are so loud that the ant gets scared and runs away. Mail. I have been in a hot car for a few hours. I can't wait to be in that mailbox, just that mailbox and I. We finally stop at the destination. I get carried by the mailman, but he also carries other mail to the mailbox. I tell them it's my home, but they don't listen, so I'm squished in the bottom of the mailbox. Then I see a scared ant running away. Ants in the mailbox. I feel lonely in my ant pile, so I go to my neighbor mailbox. Mailbox seems lonely like me. He doesn't mind, so I stay to cheer him up. A few hours later, the door opens, and mail fills the whole mailbox. I get scared. There is no way I'm going to get squished. I run out of the mailbox as fast as I can.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Up next is Talia, whose awesome art is on the board, and whose work I will be reading for her. All right. Her piece is called The Reflection You See. Sometimes the reflection you see can hit you hard and soft as you remember how pretty you used to be. Before all the acne and puffiness, a young, bright, glowing face with no imperfections. But as you grow, a new type of beauty forms, one that's stronger and more mature. And as you age, some may use products to enhance their beauty, but those that embrace their own beauty and natural features are the strongest of all. The reflection you see may not be perfect, but be honest, who needs perfection? And up next, we have Violet. Gorgeous art.
be reading two things, my story and a poem that I wrote. So here comes the story. Layla, yelled her mother, you need to get up. You're gonna be late. Layla moaned, ugh. She felt as if bricks were glued to her feet. As she walked to the mirror and saw her reflection, she glanced at something behind her. She turned and saw nothing, just as she left it, and just how it's supposed to be. As she brushed her teeth, she kept thinking about what she saw. There you are, her mom said. I was getting worried you'd be up there forever. And then she chuckled. Layla, being Layla, hated it. And she saw something in the corner of her eye. She turned so quick your computer would crash. She saw her, I quote, ugly brother who had been scaring her. Connor, she said embarrassingly, you scared me. Connor was her younger brother. He was going into 4th grade. It was currently summer, and Layla walked past the pile of books. She started to cry. I miss my dad, Layla whispered as tears started pouring down her cheeks. I hate books. I really do hate them. Layla's dad had passed away from malaria when she was 7, and he taught Layla to read. After that, she vowed to never read a book again. When she was on her way to school, she didn't know why, but a part of her wanted to stop by the library. The urge was so strong, and she couldn't stop herself. She opened the library door and started crying all over again. The librarian came to see what all the racket was, and she knew exactly what had happened. The librarian was her grandma. It's okay, Layla, her grandma said softly. Books can take you out of this. And she was right, because Layla found herself surrounded by princesses, kings, queens, dragons, and dinosaurs. Millions of stories sat by her, and she was never alone again. My time for my poem. The Sun and the Cactus poem. This is a two-perspective poem, just like Sophia's. Sun. I look over the sandy sea because there's nowhere else to be. A beautiful cactus stands tall. He thinks he's got it all. But alas, he is in my way, and all he does is stand all day. Move, 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 but he just stands there to his own groove. Cactus. Oh, how beautiful the desert can be. It goes as far as the eye can see. The sun is never in a good mood. How rude. I stand all day, hoping the sun will say, how beautiful.
Alright, moving on to our counselors. First up is Mickey, our counselor. But Mickey is not here with us at the moment, so I will be reading her work. It is called Outback Breeze. The rusty red dirt coating the landscape is a veritable ocean, shifting and ever-changing. However, it doesn't dance alone. The breeze is there to usher it along, sweeping it in, broad strokes, and lovely lifting it into her embrace. She, the breeze, admires how the bold red earth sits proudly below the blue sky. Calling upwards, hello, can you see me? The sky calls back in all its vastness. I always see you. You are all I care to see. In any other environment, these colors would clash and claw at each other, but here in the outback, they bisect the horizon neatly and allow the breeze to carry messages faithfully between them. The breeze continues her patrol, rolling and tumbling over the desert. She ruffles the fur of bouncing boomers and weaves through the feathers of cackling kookaburras. As the galahs gather in the gumdrop trees, the breeze delights in amplifying their song. She brings it to the jillaroos and jackaroos astride their horses as they shepherd jumbucks to and fro. She floats it over the billy bong and a jolly swag man as he waits for his billy to boil. As she makes her way to the edge of the outback, she tickles the nose of dingoes and marches dutifully behind a father emu and his tidy line of hatchlings. On the outskirts, she encounters a grove of eucalyptus trees, dotted with the plump bodies of dozing koalas. She encourages the fresh scent of leaves and enters the marsupial's flat nose and rouses them awake, all the while strumming the delicate strands of red-back spiderwebs. The outback breeze spends her days spinning and playing over her very own utopia. She rejoices in life, blooming in the arid heat, and relishes the untouched beauty that decorates her outback home. Up next story between she and Talia.
So Talia was nice enough to allow me to work on this poem with her. I made the art to go along with it. And this is called The Man Under the Tree, if you will allow me a moment to open up the paper. Alright. The Man Under the Tree. I'm the man under the tree. No one notices me. Alone I sit, my personality split. One a bright beach and one a dim moon. With this split personality of mine, I can't do much but waste time. I'm the man under the tree and no one notices me. And then we go for I'm the tree. I'm the tree and only one notices me. Alone we sit, looking up at the sun. And in the dim light of the night, looking at the stars above. Many think it's a waste of time, but I think we're having a great rhyme. I'm the tree and someone notices me.
Thank you, Alex. Up next is Savannah. This is her artwork, and she will be reading.
I'm Savannah, and I'll be reading 2 poems today. The first one, The Forgotten Places. In the hollow of the city's breath, vines crawl like whispered death. A crumbling garden forever unkept. Forgotten memories left unseen. A fountain left to dream of rain. Marble cracks by time sustained. And then my second poem, Echoes. I see you, years ahead, hands now smooth, like river stones that forgot to rush. Your eyes hold storms I've yet to weather, secrets I am not ready yet to know.
Thank you. Up next is Aline, counselor. She has a story for us.
Hi, I'm Aline, and this is my 8th year at Camp Conroy, and today I have a little bit of medieval historical fiction for you guys. Okay. The Angel. Unto the vale, the sloping, gorsy moorland, with its heather hide that shivered and bowed even in the most temperate of summers, turned the red window of the donjon keep. This was the make of my childhood, in the stone-walled turret chamber. In my earliest years, and beyond the reach of my memory, a glassmaker was brought in to hew a casement from an injury to the wall. He did so, and fashioned into space a doleful angel with an aureole made of stars. I passed these vernal times beneath the angel's tryst gaze, twin panes like lapis lazuli in the carmine sea. My youth seemed steeped in perpetual ill humor, a natural product of my being born in the midst of a great and baleful winter. The sky fell to slate, and the snow, lambent, swallowed the keep to the embrasures. I came into the world shivering and damp, foreboding an imbalance of phlegm under the sign of Aquarius. Spring, summer, fall, and then years came and went beyond the window, which bathed me at dawn in balsam and Tyrian purple in the gloaming. The angel flew across the chamber floor before the cast light died with the sun. This was the make of my childhood, and my only company, the angel. This time fell from my shoulders like water as I bounded into the ends of youth. The damp pallor of my skin rosied between the heaths in an elbow-thin river that undulated into a happy woodlot, and yonder, the sentry's tower beside the fen. Here resided my playgrounds. The summers were never so sultry and the chill so bitter as to separate us. I plaited fronds of bracken into wimples. I disappeared between the low-hanging birches and brambles sparkling with red droplets of unripe blackberries, cupidinous for the sight of songbirds, rabbits, the cornel eyes of fairies glinting from pine hollows. How far grew I from the bedfast turret dweller, whose reedy limbs trembled in the wine-red dark. Yet when I ventured past the jagged rapids of the brook, pursuing butter roses that teemed in the crevices of the barbican wall, my hands stiffened beneath the gaze of the angel. Its eyes of lapis, once a balm to my fevers and the ensign of my precious companion, now struck javelins into my summering heart from the turret afar. Return, the angel commanded. Relinquish thy wanderings and deliver thyself unto higher things. Return to me. This entreaty appeared to me a tyranny. Why should I submit once more to the gelid, dew-wet stones of my prison? My constitution, once pale diaphanous, a florist now with all the wildness of the moor. Cheeks of heath and arms of burnished pine, yellow broom lighting my brow from beneath the skin. No angel still trapped in the turret window could espy me among the sylvan pastures. On horseback, I delved into woodland extremities, those caverns between birch ramparts, which admitted golden fingers that brushed the hawkweed and stirred up the wet, loamy scent of foxglove. I became a rabbit hunter and the master of 3 magnificent hounds. Then, as autumn matured and my palfrey's hooves sunk into jaundiced, moribund bracken, on one of my frequent hunts, the rain came. The sky had waxed green in August and rotted across the ensuing months, clotted bruises festering on the sick skin, throwing shade over the heathers and prostrating the moorland squalls. All was still, the gorse erect and holding its rustling breath, poised for cataclysm. And onto the speckled hide of my horse fell acrid, searing rain. Oh, calamity! Before night cast its veil over the heath, the tempest drove its fingers into the tussock grass and outpoured the earth, driving forth a diluvial cry that pulsed in the walls of the keep. The woodlarks absconded their pines, ermines surged out from deluged burrows, excruciated roe deer flooded the highlands as their balmy veils succumbed. Icteric light blazed over the horizon, pitching choler across birches that curled like the bones of the infirm earth. Within the donjon keep, I fathomed the cause of this malaise. I, the phlegmatic and feeble child of the winter, had imbibed from the marrow of the moorland. I sank my teeth into its heather heart as if it were a plum, and let it flush from me the terrific disease that now poisoned the ground. Even in the penumbra of the keep, my ruddy hands flashed with self-possessed incandescence. My shoulders were slopes of gorse canopied by an emollient summer noon. The latch barring the turret room came undone beneath my hand, and with a wail I spilled into that slim chamber which had encompassed my youth. And there, the angel. The apparition wavered before the blazing squall, the stars of its aureole winking across the vaults as its numinous gaze made a brand on my forehead. I fell to my knees. Oh, my companion, my nursemaid, the guardian of my vernal days, thou wast my ward, even when I relinquished thee for my trivial pursuits. Didst thou know that tragedy was hung around my head, that I were a blight unto my beloved deans? Woe, I am made of winter, my blood is freezing and my breath befouls the iceful air. Cast thy light towards me once more. I would thou wert my enemy, so that thou wouldst not be the foe of the earth. Gaze upon me and let me fall to sleep once more. My weeping surged with the thunder beyond the window. Lightning glanced and, briefly, the chamber plunged into balsam, illuminating a white-armed child reaching placidly for the open embrace of an angel.
That should be all. Thank you so much for being here and supporting our incredible campers. We hope you enjoyed the showcase and leave feeling inspired by their creativity. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we hope to see you all again next year at Camp Conroy.
Yay! That's fun.
Excuse me.
It has a secret